Hello, this is Crypto CJ. It's the trade of the day, Monday afternoon / evening Zoom edition. And we had some drama last night, at least on US time at 9 p.m. Eastern. Bitcoin took a tumble. It'd been kind of dipping down most of the day. The information I'm getting is there was a large market sale on a large exchange. I think it was Binance of $1.5 billion. So that took the crypto price down from about 43,500 to 40,500. And then that triggered a bunch of liquidations and stop losses on the long side. So a long squeeze, which caused even more of a drop. So yeah, it was blood in the streets for a little while. Now the market came back about halfway and then dipped again today. So let's go to the Bitcoin chart and check it out. Okay, guys, should be seeing my Bitcoin day chart.
Yes.
And you can see we have this big ugly red candle here. We're gonna go in for a closer view. Yeah, so this is what I'm talking about. It was kind of trending down, and maybe this was the sell, and then this was the long squeeze here. But I think overall it went down about 10%, 8%, and then came back up. So I was actually on a Zoom call with a trading friend of mine. It's like maybe we should abandon what we're talking about and check this out. So when it kind of mellowed out here, we got back to our business, but then it dropped again, testing this 40,000 area, and it's bounced back up to over 41K. So the markets never go straight up and down. We knew something like this was going to happen. I'm surprised it hasn't gone farther. Let's look at the 1 hour. So yeah, it does seem to be holding. 40K seems to be holding for now, but that's my concern. Is that going to hold with this downward pressure? Not sure. I actually had some pretty good trades. I had some long positions, picked up some additional purchases, and then got out here, dipped down again, picked up some additional ones, and trending back up. So I like it when there's a move and then a recovery, a move and then a recovery. This action's what I like. When it just goes down and stays down and keeps going down, that's harder to trade unless you're in a short. Okay, back to the day chart. So we were on Friday, we were talking about that we might break through this top zone that I've drawn, but we may be a little while from that after all. On Ethereum, yeah, this had broken through the zone and now has returned to test it again. Got a ways to go to this zone here at 3,000. And let's reset this. 2,400 seems to be some short-term resistance, but I'm pleased to see it's well above 2,000. I thought if it was going to drop, it'd be down here in the lower part of the zone, but never even entered the zone again. So we'll see if that holds. Okay, in the chat. Okay, well, Nell can't make it. Technical problems. All right, so any questions or comments about the markets overall before we look for some trades? Okay, I got a quiet group. Well, Craig's not here to throw out a bunch of stuff, which is kind of a bummer. But so if you guys can pick up Craig's slack, I would appreciate it. All right, so let's go to Altcoin Alert. You can tell what I was looking at earlier. And I'm on the altcoin radar setting. Gives me all the columns and all the information. I'm going to reload, and my first sort is going to be the AA score. Kind of go right to left. on the sorts I do, and I look for coins. And this morning, it was Avalanche and Ocean were both up in the 79s. I usually like 80 or better, but I'll dip down to 79, 78 because that's still pretty good odds. Because the AA score is telling us that, let's say this BNB, 81.6% chance to go up 3% or more in the next 48 to 72 hours. So that's something I want to investigate further, look at the chart. I'm not a real fan of BNB as a trading option. It's not bad to hodl, but it doesn't move enough for my taste. Flow's not bad. Let's look at AVAX. It's up 4% and change. Pretty good score, 78.6. And actually, no, we're not going to do that one. We'll look at Elrond. That's the one I had up. We may look at AVAX too, but okay, let's go to the 5-minute chart. This setup should be familiar to you guys by now. I've been using it for a few months. And this is, I'll turn this off. Let's do a quick review.
Is that Elrond or eGold?
Yes, they're the same.
Same thing. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, they changed their name a year ago or something like that. So sometimes they do that when they upgrade their system. Okay, so got your Bollinger Bands set at 20 or 50. I'm sorry, 20 is the default. 50 is a little more conservative, so that's what I've got. And the SMA line is this, simple moving average in the middle. And then I've got this supply and demand visible range indicator. It's a Lux Algo. It shows me some support and resistance and it gives me a range. It's easier than drawing it because it does it for me. I kind of like that. The RTI is my main trading indicator. I'll talk about that in some more detail in a moment. And I use the cumulative delta to confirm what I'm seeing on RTI on my trend trades, less so on my dips and pull and pumps. I'm on the 5-minute chart at the moment. I'm looking for a 1, 2, 3 dip situation or a 1, 2, 3 pump. This looks like it's a pump and a dip. So if you're trading shorts, this might be worthwhile. I tend to look at these on the 15-minute chart. If you're trading spot or prefer to make a long trade, might want to put a price alert in the green zone here around 61.60. There's a little support here, 62, right around where the SMA line is. But I probably want to get in on a price alert around here. And it's easy to set a price alert, right click, add an alert. Come up with a name for it. I usually use my information source, which in this case is an AA score purchase. And notification.
Why do you have a question mark on that? AA score purchase question mark.
Like, do I really want to buy this?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that was it, and I just never changed it. So
okay, now I know. Thank you.
It's actually not that meaningful, but it does identify it. So
yeah, right.
Yeah. And I'm going to notify in my app, show pop up on my computer, and play a sound on my computer. And there's a few to choose from. So that's how you do that. But I prefer alerts on the 15-minute chart. And again, this is more of a day trading approach. We'll talk about swing trading in a moment. So what I like to do to get in good entries on my day trades is to use this RTI. There's a few ways that I use it. To catch a trend, something that's pumping or something that's crashing, I'll set an alert on the RTI, usually for both because I trade on leverage. And I want to catch trades in both directions. If you're new-ish to this kind of trading, you should just trade spot on something like Coinbase, and you're just going to be picking up dips and pumps. Don't worry about shorting something. Besides, despite last night's activities, a lot of us think we're in the beginning of a bull run, so trading shorts can be dangerous. Anyway, that being said, if I want to trade both directions on the RTI, if I want to catch something that's breaking above the 80 or dumping below the 20, I'm going to right click on my RTI. I'm going to exit a channel. I'll put 80 for the bottom or the top, 20 for the bottom. I'm going to click on once per bar close, so it'll stay on until I turn it off. And for me, I do these in the morning between like 7 and 8 in the morning, and then I turn them off usually around 6 or 7 at night. So these are on usually 10 to 12 hours for me, and I can trade off my computer or off my phone. Alert name, AA score, purchase, got the 3 notes reverb, and click create. And I'll go ahead and create that one. So you see I've got this, rectangle zone essentially. If it breaks above the 80, the alert will go off. If it dips below the 20, the alert will go off. And then I'll reevaluate. I'll look at my cumulative delta and see if it's something I want to get into. That's a trend trade. If I want to catch a dip in a recovery, like this situation where it dipped down and then came back, broke above the 20, that's a different setup. On this, we're gonna enter a channel. $80 on top, 20 on the bottom, once per bar close. And I usually call that 1, 2, 3 dip pump. The notifications are the same, but I change it to chirpy. So that gives me a different alert. I click create. So this is for that, when this one broke above and came back up, I get in here and, really nice move, 6%. If something like this goes off and I'm up here in the red zone or close to it, I won't take the trade. If a short alert goes off and I'm near support, I won't take that trade either. You don't want to short near support or long near resistance. You'd want to break through this resistance before you did a long trade. So, okay, if you're trading spot, then you're going to approach this a little differently on the RTI. You do a right click and you'd be crossing up on the 80 to catch that trend. You can do the 50 if you want, catch the middle, have it cross above the middle area. It's up to you whether you want to do that or not. Once per bar close, again, same thing. And then you do a separate alert. Well, actually, yeah, that's for the trend trade. And then for the dip and retrace, instead of 80, you do a separate alert, you do 20. Everything else being the same. So that 20 crossing above will get you in here on a spot trade. And then the 80 will get you in here on something that's pumping. So now I've had some interest in talking about swing trading. You can use some of the same concepts, just go to a longer time frame, like the 1 hour. But usually if I go an hour longer, I'm probably going to ditch the RTI. I'm just going to look at support and resistance. So the supply and demand visible range points that out to me. And I'm going to try to figure out, okay, where do I want to get in on this Elrond? You could wait till it breaks resistance and put a price alert up here around $70 and like 70.50. That would be a potentially good entry. If it dips down here to the middle line, like $58, that would be a pretty good entry. There's some support here I'm seeing, multiple touches. Let me show this a little better. with a horizontal line. Yeah, like right there on 61.65. And then the ideal entry, though, is the green zone down here is 49, but it may not come down anytime soon. So like, let's say you have $100 and you're willing to lose that to do this Elrond trade. So you could put, say, $10 in at this level, $20 in at this level, and find maybe a midpoint around here, $30 around $53, and then, maybe the rest of it down here around $49. So that's just a suggestion, not financial advice, but that'd be a way to sort of dollar cost average into a swing trade. And then, when it comes back, you'll have multiple positions in profit, and then you can sell a few as it keeps going, depending on what your risk tolerance is. And you can do a similar concept on the 4-hour. Right now it's pretty much at the range, the top of the range. So I wouldn't want a long position here. I'd be more inclined to short this if I'm trading both directions, but all right. So any questions on Elrond and the multiple setups? Very well. Let's go through Altcoin Alert. I'll be a little bit quicker about some of these additional coins we're going to look at, since I was rather detailed on the last one. Okay, let's sort by social activity this time. We're going to look for fire, thumbs up, or a combination of those. INJ has been pumping. It might be played out, though. It's up 15% already. AVAX looks good. We got good values on the long-term sentiment, elder impulse, social activity, trading activity. It's all looking pretty good for AVAX. Let's check that one out. I've already got alerts set up on this, so I'll just, I've had a good day with AVAX. I've shorted it twice, longed it once, all three profitable fairly quickly. So good stuff there. It's doing that it's kind of trending up and then pulling back, trending up, pulling back, trending up, and starting to pull back again. So I like shorting it up here in this zone. And for me, I was taking shorts when the RTI broke down. Let's see, where did I get in? Oh, I'm in the 1 hour. Duh. Go back to the 15. Yeah, you see how choppy it is here. These can be good entries. I took this one here on a short this morning, and this one this afternoon, and then I took this long that broke above the 80, and all three worked out pretty well. So I'm only looking for a 1% move on a chart because I'm at 10x leverage. I love to pile those up. So if you're trading spot, you may want to go for a bigger percent move on a chart, maybe 2 to 3%. So we'll look at a spot trade in detail when we go to iCoinPro. So on the RTI, yeah, the 80 values are looking good. Each time it breaks above the 80, it makes a nice move. Let me go with the horizontal line, show you or vertical line. There's one. There's one. That one took a little longer. So, gotta get a new mouse. There's another one. So that one went against us for a while, but eventually came back. Another break above the 80. Let's look at that closer. Yeah, that was a nice win. And that break eventually was successful, as was this. So lots of good breaks above the 80. The only 20 break is down here from Sunday in the wee hours. and it didn't do well. So be careful with shorts, even in this market. So again, if you're trading both directions and you want to catch the trend, you're going to do alert on RTI, and you're going to exit a channel. If you want to catch a dip and then recovery, you're going to enter a channel. That'll also get you a pump and a drop. If you just want to trade longs, crossing up, and remember to put your alerts on once per bar close. And the value, you can use 20 for those breaks below that area, and then 80 for the bigger ones. And you can even use 50 for the mid zone. Yeah, like this here. So that'll give me an alert if it breaks above the 50, and those can be better entries, obviously, than the 80, but there's risk involved with those as well. So I don't think I'm going to leave that one. Go away. Yes. So that's that. Any questions on? Well, actually, let's look at this as a swing trade too. On the 1 hour, yeah, this is similar to the Elrond. It's already in the resistance area on the 1 hour chart. So I try to get in down here around $35, 31.60, and say 26.50, and then the green zone down here 22.75. So those are potential entries for the AVAX swing trade. Any questions on this? Okay, we'll look at one more on Altcoin Alert. And we did the social activity. Let's look at long-term sentiment. I sorted by short-term sentiment, but I didn't get any matches with the Elder Impulse hourly. On the Crypt Nation call, the Altcoin Alert call last Tuesday, they were talking that short-term is the better option, but there was some information a year or two ago that long-term sentiment was a better one. So I've stuck with long-term that whole time. But I'm kind of I want to dabble on the short-term one. But there aren't any matches with coins I trade with the Elder Impulse hourly. But if I go to long-term sentiment and sort by that, I get some matches with the daily, like INJ. Clay I trade occasionally. AVAX again. SNX I like a lot. Curve I traded today. And a couple others. So let's look at SNX up 5%. Synthetics. Start at the 5-minute. And bumped into resistance, trending down, sitting in the mid zone here. Not really good place to enter. I see short-term support at about 441, and then the green zone down here at 435 would be good price alert areas. On the 15, for our indicator alerts, we just broke down off the 80 on the RTI. So this could be a good short setup. We've got, two 15-minute candles breaking down from the resistance here. And I'm less concerned about the cumulative delta confirmation on something when it's changing its direction. When I'm trying to confirm a trend, then I'm interested in this. But this early in a trend, it's not going to be that useful. But I think I'm going to trade this real quick. So I really hope this third-party software that I'm testing is available for you guys next year, because it's pretty cool. All right, so I like that entry, not financial advice, but that looks pretty good to me. You can see here the last time we had this set up, it broke down, 3% here. It did it again here, another 2%. So I just need a 1% move and I'm good. If you're trading spot and you want to catch some moves above the 80, those have been pretty good on this one. We had a move here that took off. It dipped and came back. Another good entry. And did it again here. Another good entry. And did it again here. And this was after the dump last night, but caught this move up. So you get the idea. Another break above the 80. All these moves above the 80 are doing really well. So this might have been a bit of a fake out here, but if you do an additional purchase, maybe get in again at 2% and then boom, bigger profit. That's what we call ladder buying. Okay, so yeah, there's only one dip below the 20. That's from Saturday afternoon. Hasn't done that in a while. The breaks above the 50 look pretty good too, so you may want to consider those for a trend trade. And we just went over the breaks above the 80. So, and again, if you just want to trade those, add an alert on the RTI crossing up. You put either 80 or 50 here, once per bar close. And this was long-term sentiment. And maybe you change it on the notifications. Okay, any questions on SNX? Very well. Any questions on Altcoin Alert before we head over to iCoinPro? Oh, I forgot to look at this as a swing trade. Yeah, it's the same as the other two we looked at. So support right around this vicinity, 442 to 430. Those would be potential entries on along the mid zone here at 413. There's some support there at 380, and then again at 365. So, all right, let's get over to iCoinPro, the home of the 123 dip, and it's got two sources that I like to use. I usually start with the RSI SPY. And this morning on this 1 hour RSI sort, I had a sea of green. Everything was under 30, so I had a few to pick from. The market has improved since then, so a lot of these values have gone above 30 on the 1 hour RSI. And the RSI is similar to the RTI that you guys have seen me talk about. So when something dips below the 30, it's often due for a recovery. It's considered oversold. If it breaks above the 70, that's often due for a dip and considered overbought. But we don't have many values in the 30. We only have this one here. I don't even know what BNX is. Bitcoin, interestingly, is hanging around here. And then sometimes I'll fudge a little, go up to maybe 35, thinking something's recovering and it might be a good one to get in now. And Zen looks good. This is something I trade. I've got the the drop down menu here. If I click this, it'll bring up the most recent chart I've used in a 5-minute. Actually, a 15 minutes coming up. Interesting. Usually comes up on a 5-minute chart. Take a quick look at the 5. This wasn't a dip sequence, but got a squeeze and a bubble, but we went way beyond 3 dips on this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's about an 8 dipper. So I probably would have gotten in around here and ladder bought down here. Yeah. And I might have gotten out around here. Small loss my first position and a nice profit on my second. So something like that on the 5-minute chart. I like the green zone for a price alert, 992. On the 15-minute, some clutter. Okay, we have dipped below the 20 and we're imminently going to cross this 20. So this would be a good place for add an alert on the RTI. And went out of order. Crossing up on the 20, once per bar close. And that was RSI SPY, even though we fudged a little on the 30 value. And you are good to go on that alert. Breaks above the 80. We're not that great recently. It's only gone above the 80 once, and that was a fake out. So on Sunday afternoon. Break above the 50, about the same. So this one you just might want to trade those that break below the 20. This one did okay on Sunday. This one's not bad. So yeah, I'd stick to breaks above the 20 on this one and dips below the 80. So that's going to be your you're entering a channel, 80 on the top, 20 on the bottom, once per bar close, and RSI SPY. Okay, on a 1 hour, on a trend. Okay, we got some better information now. On this one, we are in the green zone now for a for a swing trade. So, not financial advice, but this might be the place to get in and ride it up to the red zone. I mean, get in now. The red zone's 14%. That's a great trade, even if it takes a week or two. So, yeah, I like this setup a lot. Any questions on Zen? Okay, let's look at the other one. The other sort I like is the Buddy Coin Crawler. And I'm sorting this by the average low to SMA. So the 24-hour low to the SMA line, that red line between my Bollinger Bands I showed you earlier. And I'm usually looking for 4% or higher. I was looking at Celestial earlier. I'm going to look at this as a spot trade. And we'll look at it as a swing trade as well. So I have that one up here. Traded this last week, did okay with it. We'll start at the 5-minute. And we're in the red zone on the 5-minute, so that's not a good entry. You could put a price alert down here around 1053, a little bit of support. The middle zone at 1030, and the green zone at about 977. Those are potential price alert areas on the 15. Ideally, we have this break below the 20 and come back up. I mean, we're above the 80 at the moment, so that's not a good entry. But you could use your crossing above the 20 or crossing above the 50 or even crossing above the 80. The breaks above the 80 have been really good on this one. It happened here. It made a nice move up. And it happened again here. and made a move up, a dip, and then another move up. And then, well, you see where it is now. So all these dips and recoveries would have caught that move here at the end. So for your alert, right click on RTI. You can just leave it the way it is for a crossover on 50. If you put once per bar close, you have a built-in alert. You can just trade it when it crosses over that 50. If you have some confirmation with cumulative delta, we haven't really talked about that. So yeah, here's an example here. We have a break above the 50 right here. And then I'm going to move this over so we can see it. Nice confirmation here. Like 1, 2, 3, 4 green candles in a row. I'm not sure if that last one would have printed before you made the decision, but 3 in a row trending up like this is pretty good confirmation. That's what we're looking for. So in that trend trade, breaking above the 50, that would have been good confirmation. Or you can wait till you get the bigger, stronger move above the 80, but sometimes those, peter out and then you get this, but it did come back. So breaks above the 50 and 80 and obviously the 20 were good as well. I also looked at this on the 4-hour chart and drew some potential entries. So I want to show examples of support that's not necessarily shown by the indicator. So we have multiple touches here around 925, and that would be a potential entry, but go in small because you're pretty close to the red zone. There's some more support here at 818. The middle zone has some support over here and over here. And that's at 684. And then pretty good support here on the 4-hour chart at 534. And then the green zone, obviously, here at 373. Those are all potential entries. Maybe you start small on this, $10 here, 20 here, 30 here, maybe 30 each for that $100 to $100.50 hypothetical trade we talked about a little while ago. That's how you do that. And I have a tangled cord. Okay, any questions on TIA? Celestia. Okay. Well, we've gone over day trading and swing trading. I hope that information is useful to you. I'll go ahead and wrap it up here. If you're watching on the recording, hope to see you live on Friday. And please also check out the opportunities described in the pinned comment. They help support the channel. Rest of you guys, thanks for joining me, and we'll see you next time. Have a good one.